Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new video. This is the first episode of WoW Talk, and today we have inaugurating this shit none other than Mr.GM. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I'm great. I'm happy that you accepted the invitation, and we're gonna talk about a lot of shit. Most of the people pretty much know who you are, but just for the few of them who don't know who you are, can you talk a little bit about yourself, your YouTube, and all of that?
Yeah, Mr.GM or Mr. Game Master Reviews, whatever I used to be called. Basically do WoW videos. Been doing BFA content for the last couple months. Before that, it was basically a lot of like patch content for Legion. Before that, it was a lot of legacy content. But yeah, I mean, I've been making videos since 2011, but I've been full-time since February of this year. So I've been kind of smashing it, I guess would be the term, and streaming as well on YouTube, which is really fun. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just at the moment, literally covering all the BFA features as and when they come to the beta and the alpha.
Right on. And guys, do make sure to go check out his channel. You'll see it over here. There's also going to be a link in the description. I know whenever I have the time, I'm onto his streams, but I definitely enjoy his content, especially the BFA coverage and all of that. So make sure to check Mr.GM out. Really cool dude. Now, okay, this is the YouTube stuff. You know, everybody got that. But I'm really curious, and there's been, like, especially with your newest series, like watching over old trailers from World of Warcraft with, you know, vanilla and all, Burning Crusade, all that. Now, I'm really curious, man. Like, what was your World of Warcraft journey? Like, where did you start, and how was it for you? What was like the whole route, the whole journey?
So I started in 2005, like I think it was June time, on my brother's account. Okay. And he used to play, I think he played around the beginning of Anchorage in vanilla, and I started playing on his account. And then on Christmas Day I got my own account and started playing on that. And then obviously just, yeah, literally my account has been active since that day, so I don't even want to calculate how much the sub fees would be.
Okay.
But it's yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously, you know, you have your dark days of WoD and stuff like that, but then you have the good times of the old stuff. I'm excited for Classic to kind of relive it again. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So you're like one of the veterans. Okay, you started like in 2005. I mean, can I dare ask how old were you back then?
15.
Okay, because usually I'm asking because usually these types of games in general, doesn't matter if it's an MMO or whatever, this sort of like impact you when you're like in that crossroads of teenage, you know, teenage, all of that. If that made a huge impact, that's it. You're gonna stick to that shit. Cool, yeah. Okay, well, remaining in the same topic. Okay, you obviously been around since vanilla. You know, obviously like all of us, you know, ups and downs. Maybe you took some break at some point from the game and shit like that. Not really.
Not really. I mean, I didn't play as much, but I never took like a full-on break.
Okay, but okay, let me ask you. Now, I know this is a really generic question, but I have to ask you, bro. What's your favorite World of Warcraft expansion? And please detail.
So people, like, they always say, yeah, I like this expansion specifically. I like all of, like, pretty much every expansion brought in something good to the game.
True.
Even Warlords of Draenor, you know, and I think overall I'd probably say TBC, because it was so new and exciting, because we had never had an expansion. We had no idea what to, you know, to have, like, what to experience with that. Yeah. And they had like the flying and stuff. It was just such an awesome time to play the game back then. Beyond that, I loved, like as I said, you know, I like the achievement system in Wrath. I like the art style of Mists. I like the new character models in Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah. What about Cataclysm? What did you? Was there something you liked in Cataclysm?
So the old world stories, like in the new zones, were actually in the old zones were actually really, really cool. If you ever get a chance to play through those, they're super awesome, considering. And especially now with the new leveling scaling, it's like a great time to do it.
Sure.
So yeah, I guess with that, it was pretty cool. Flying in Azeroth was a pretty cool experience, because you obviously go all those years without doing that.
Oh yeah.
And then suddenly you can do it, and you're like, oh yes, this is kind of cool. You know, I'm flying above Stormwind. When did you think you're ever going to be able to do that? Yeah,
and also I would like to add to that, like in Cataclysm, I believe still one of the best starting zones, for me at least, were the Worgen. Did you get a chance? I mean, the vibe, was really cool. Was amazing.
Everything about it was so cool. I had the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Brilliant stuff.
So awesome.
Brilliant stuff. Now you said that you even like someone for Warlords. I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. You know, it was a boring expansion because they didn't have a lot of content overall. We can go into specifics and shit, but for me at least, I mainly play a red paladin, and that was one of the highlights of that class. I love Warlords of Draenor for that. Now, the garrison, that was like the big shit, right, for Warlords. But I mean, they placed all their bets on the garrisons, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that garrisons ultimately fucked that expansion up? I mean, if you think about it from like a general MMO perspective, because I felt like I was all the time in my garrison. I mean, except my friends, that's it. It never went out. What you think?
I mean, I think Bellylal did a really good video on cut content in Warlords. It to be honest, they only had what, like 2 patches, and it just seems like they just gave up on it. It really does. You know, they had so much content they could have potentially put in with the expansion, but I think people just weren't that into it, unfortunately. I don't know what it was. It was something, maybe the story, or maybe the zones, maybe something about it. I mean, one thing good about Warlords is the questing content, the level content. Yeah, it's really good.
Sure. Loved it. I mean, I think they started on this route on Mist of Pandaria. I think that was the first expansion when I really loved the questing. It wasn't like extraordinary, but it had some sort of sense. And with all the, you know, the typical Asian, you know, knowledge and wisdom stuff when you go in, it was different. I like Mist of Pandaria. I know people give a lot of shit to Mist as well. I thought it was one of the best they did.
I thought it was cool. Yeah. I thought it was really cool.
Awesome, man. Okay, well, let's move along, because I think we can talk about expansions like for days. But okay, now you obviously do a lot of Battle for Azeroth content. I've mostly watched everything you do, but I've yet to see like a proper opinion, a proper, like, how do you feel so far about what you've seen in Battle for Azeroth? Because I think you play from the alpha, right? I mean, you start off from alpha.
Yeah, I've been playing it for a while.
What do you think?
My beta character is like 8 days played or something. It's crazy. So it's pretty cool. I like it. It's more of the same as Legion, but that's not a bad thing because Legion was really cool.
Yep.
Like with their features. I like the story. I think it's more grounded in reality, which sounds like a weird thing for a fantasy MMO, but it's not just like crazy demons. It's more of the war at home, you know, with pirates and
and
like
finally get rid of all that green shit. I'm tired of the green shit.
Yeah. I mean, the Horde questing is amazing. The Horde zones aren't so great, but the Alliance zones are amazing, and the Alliance questing isn't so great. So you kind of, you know, you get the kind of, it's weird, but it's really going to be great as well to level a Horde and Alliance and have a different experience. I'm a main Alliance player, and in Legion I boosted I boosted a character, a Horde, for the first time in forever. And started doing, I thought, oh yeah, I'll do some quest content. I wonder what it's like for the Horde, like the Argus content, for example.
Yeah.
Ended up being exactly the same. I was like, this is fucking shit. Yeah.
That is true. I mean, this whole idea of having like 2 separate continents with 2 different experiences for Horde and Alliance, that's awesome. I hope like they really build on that shit. I felt I'm also an Alliance player. I feel like overall the Alliance zone, Kultiras area was a bit more weaker. I mean, not like, you know, depressingly bad, but weaker than the Horde side. I felt like, even from the design perspective, story and questing and all that, I felt like the Horde zone was a bit better. Granted, I never finished it on the beta. But on Kultiras, I finished it, I maxed out, and, you know, it was okay, but Horde was like really awesome. So we'll see. It is.
We'll see. All the stories in the Horde zones are all linked together as well. Yeah. With the Alliance ones being kind of dotted different threats.
Exactly. It's a bit more spread out. Exactly. Okay, man. Well, I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of our crowd here on this small channel, there's a lot of people who PvP. So I'm gonna go a little bit into this out as well with you. Okay. Now you tested out warfronts. Okay. I think warfronts is amazing. I really loved it.
Yep.
Now, do you think this could ever work as a PvP mode as well? Do you think they're missing out with this?
I mean, it would work, definitely. It would go on forever.
I remember old Alterac.
Yeah, that's the example I'm thinking. It is like a vanilla Alterac Valley. It's PvE, PvP content. And especially very, very old Alterac Valley. That was a lot of heavy PvE in there. Yep. I mean, it would work, definitely. They would have to make some changes, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
And it would have to be timed. there's no, like, I genuinely think it could potentially last forever. Like, even when you're doing it with like players, it takes a while, you know, 45 to an hour. Yeah,
it does take long enough.
I think it would be cool though. Like, imagine that is an all-out war, legit. Like, you know, you've got like 20 versus 20 with bosses and other NPCs running in with you and all sorts of craziness going on. It would be really fun.
Resources and buffs and all that. It's like the first game mode where I actually felt, dude, there's a fucking hatred or war between Horde and Alliance, and this is where it's at. I mean, I always said, dude, it's a huge potential to do PvP here as well. I know it's gonna be hectic. Obviously, it's gonna take a lot of changes and shit, and timing, of course. Have it like have a timer on it. But the questions are all rambled up in the place. So if it doesn't make any sense, my bad. Okay, I can take it.
That's all right.
I was going to ask you earlier than this, but you say like every expansion has, you know, had something, you know, to add to the game and was okay in its sense. But you have to have a least favorite expansion. I mean, one that really, I don't know, didn't just feel right, or maybe the expansion you played the least in. Isn't any expansion in that category?
It's got to be Warlords of Draenor.
I'm sure of it.
I was so over that expansion, like, pretty damn quick. Like, I went back to my garrison recently and like looked at the stuff that I never finished, and I was like, wow, I really didn't do much with this. I did actually get flying in Draenor though.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Beyond that, I just never did anything else.
yeah, it's exactly the same feeling, and all of my buds, exactly the same feeling. Let's go back to the garrisons. There's so much shit. I mean, the shipyard, that's not, I don't know, there's like 30% completed. It's bullshit. So I guess, yeah, the general feeling is, man, Warlords of Draenor is, for the most part, I think the most hated expansion. I thought Mists had that title. Or cataclysm.
Yeah, I know there is a lot of people who really hate it. But that's mainly because of the pandas. They're like, oh, I had pandas, but like, what about all the other awesome features it had?
Oh, fuck, I mean, come on, man, fuck it. You cannot stop at the pandas, man. That expansion had a lot of shit, and I really loved it. I mean, the philosophy, it felt like genuinely these guys that were, you know, in front back then, they like kind of matured a bit and moved away for that fantasy central villain and developed this whole philosophical thing, you know, with the Shah's anger, hate, all of that. Beautiful stuff. I
That's
love
all like brand new lore as well.
Yeah. Okay, well, back to PvP then. Do you PvP? Did you ever PvP? Let me put it like that. Did you ever PvP? Wow.
I PvP'd in vanilla, actually. I was a Master Sergeant. I don't know how many.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's not. I think that's rank 4. I'm not really sure, but I still have that rank now, which is pretty cool. But
Bragging rights.
Yeah, yeah. Beyond that, I mean, I don't. Not that I hate it. I'm just very bad at it. Okay. So I wouldn't stream it because it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, no, I'll stream it. But did you ever like? I mean, you say you're bad at it. Okay, that always comes with practice. If you practice, you can get decent at anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
But did you like ever like try out arenas in like rated arenas or RBGs?
TBC. At TBC.
TBC. Well, that's where they introduced it. Yeah.
Definitely arenas. Like I actually had some friends that played back then, so we did do some arenas. I mean, we used to have like nights where we'd just like stay up all night with a computer. Like mate will bring a computer over, and we'll just arena all night. And it was great fun. It really was. And I would love to do it again, but maybe in BFA, you never know. I might do it on the beta. I thought about it because I wanted to check out some of the rewards.
Well, yeah, it's I do a lot of arenas in the beta. There's no rewards yet, so don't. Yeah. It's no time for that. They did add 2 new arenas, and it's basically. Okay. Yeah, they did. I mean, it's basically the dueling zone from Borealis, if you know that place. It's an arena, and the dueling zone from Zundalar. It's basically the arenas from the main cities in Horde and Alliance. It's really good. Awesome.
They got the Jewelers Guild as well coming out, which is a cool feature.
That's also a neat feature. And by the way, did you get to test out Warmode? I mean, Spade in the PvP spectrum. Did you ever activate that shit? Did you engage into World PvP?
Yeah. I haven't done much, but I did turn it on. I just wanted the level boost on my horde, but I got one of the crates and stuff. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Warmode. Honestly, I'm actually going to turn it on at the start of the expansion. Maybe not when everyone's up at 120, but I'll definitely turn it on at the beginning. But
you know, one cool thing about this Warmode thing is that you scale up. I mean, now there's a bug on it, but I've literally got my ass. I was 120, and I got my ass handed to me by a hunter who was 117. I mean, skills aside, you know, that was scaled up, and that was a beautiful thing. I mean, people are usually afraid, you know, that they'll get stumped, because if you go now in Legion and you fight a player who's like 3 levels below you, you stomp him. No questions asked. Now, you know, even 110s, well, it's a little bit of a gear difference there. I mean, it does feel, you know, but this scaling technology is actually awesome. I've seen, obviously in the beta, there's not a lot of people like running around, but the ones that do run around, you do get that feel that, you know, world PvP is there, it's active, and people do engage into that shit. And I think that's like for the better. Because, you know,
you'll be PvPing people that want to PvP.
Exactly. I mean, you can always opt out. You can always opt out on that shit.
Apparently on the PTR, you can, like, as a level 20, you could kill 120, level 110.
Yeah, they talked about this shit. There's a bug right now with the scaling, because they haven't, like, capped it for, there should be a cap for the damage and numbers and shit. Like, you
try and gank a level 1 and they just get you.
Yeah, man, that would be fucked up. This is kind of it. I ran out of questions. I have nothing. nothing else. And we kind of like fired off through all of them.
All right. But short and sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting back to like to your channel and can you like let all of the guys know like what your streaming schedule, like social media and all that stuff. Make a little bit of a plug.
Yeah. So I stream 3 times a week, normally around midday UK time. I put out maybe about 3 videos a week, depending on what content there is around. You can find me at /MrGameMasterReviews on YouTube, or just type in MrGM, MrGMYT on Twitter, because some random woman stole MrGM, and and MrGM on Twitch as well, which is something I'm trying to build up slowly but surely. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, as you said, short and sweet. We got through everything that we needed to talk about. We'll do some more in the future, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.
See you later.